that we have a healthy rainforest and a healthy indigenous society economically. So all the alliances are great. That's not a problem. But I think we need to be creative in terms of how we create those alliances. And really, that's going to take more than a little conference here. I think we need to sit down and really talk.
Sure. It's just for the first, just to understand what we would expect from each other.
Yeah.
Concerning her, for example, she said that she knows personally some chiefs, owners of furniture factories in St. Petersburg.
Right.
So she said, if it's interesting, I could introduce them this project so they could become like customers, distributors.
That's right. Yeah, that's fine.
So,
but this is high-end furniture now. We're talking luxury furniture, not normal furniture.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
But I think there's a class in Russia that could afford it. And when they buy this furniture, the advantage for them is that they are participating. You know, people can say, well, you're greedy, look, you're greedy, you're selfish. But they can say, well, I bought this furniture, and the net effect is that it's really making a healthier rainforest. So that's a very good selling point for these people, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you can say that Russians aren't interested in this. People have told me that Russians are not really interested in environmental stuff. But I don't think that's totally true. I think that
no, they're interested.
Yeah, and
we have to find some way.
If they can buy a dining room set that they can sit and while they're eating, they can have a brochure saying how the whole thing works, and that this was built by so and so, and it's
I'm sure that it's for some wealthy Russians just
exactly
to represent that they have a furniture from where from Darien.
Yeah,
it's kind of ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
So those people, they could find the clients because they are ready. And I asked her about the elite furniture, and she said yes, each factory in Russia has like 3 levels. Just first for the public, middle class, and a high level.
Right.
So we just could say that we're interested in the sector of high level. Mm-hmm. But she wants to get kind of profit of that. So she doesn't want that she introduce you to Ivan and then you walk with Ivan.
No.
And she because in Russia it's happening all the time and people are really tired. They start project and then they became thrown out.
Right. No.
For that they ask this I just explain you how the reality is.
That's the reality.
Not because they want to get money, but they want to get something because it's like their connections and.
Well, the whole project is driven by self-interest. So if one of the key persons is involved, of course we need to satisfy that self-interest. That's how the project stays alive, because people need it because they're making money from it. We don't want people to be doing this for altruistic reasons. That doesn't work on the long term. It only works short term. So every party that's involved here, we want them to be participating. But we also want them to recognize the value of what we're offering is extraordinary. It's unique in the world. And that they should get a fair return, but not get greedy. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be able to seize the whole. We're gonna give them a very nice image. What we're doing for them is making joining them.
Нет,
Parallel. Okay, sorry, I understand this. Yeah, that's very valuable. You talk to them because you already told me, and I keep in mind this. Nice. So, давай все уберем.
I think if they could understand the fundamental basis that this needs to satisfy people's self-interest in order to be workable, then that'll answer a lot of questions.
Okay.
And that what we're offering is the ability to be connected to something that in the world's current psychology, we're offering them something that could be very valuable. But we expect them to take some profit as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we will arrange the thing accordingly. Of course, we'll have to negotiate all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's doable.
Okay, let's pass to another stage about the letter of exclusive rights to represent you in Russia. What do you think about that?
For your organization?
For the team, yeah.
I think so. I don't see
or maybe you have some other partners. I don't know.
No, we don't have any other partners at the back. Let's put a time frame on it. Okay, and we'll renew if it works for you and it works for me.
Okay.
We'll put a time frame on that letter.
Okay. Go next.
Is that okay with you? I mean, I think because if it doesn't work, neither you nor I perhaps want to have it.
Yes.
So we need to have a chance
for
to work it through.
If it doesn't work, for sure, it needs to be changed.
That's right.
Letter to government with request. So that's something very important. So you have to do it as soon as possible. To make, we will give you the names. So you write the letter presenting yourselves and explaining what do you want in the sense of cultural mostly
And
things.
should we give a copy to the ambassador here?
Sure, absolutely.
yeah.
And we could call him and send him also the copy, because we did it last time. I called to the. We even asked for the visa for this our friend because they were like a short time. So you copy to ambassador. We also they send him that we work with you. So that's everything should be network linked.
Yeah, that's fine. The ambassador now, do you know him? The new ambassador?
You know, I didn't present
The old
him yet.
ambassador was very enthusiastic about this
Yeah,
project.
I know.
Yeah.
He's very enthusiastic about all. It's a very bright person.
Yeah.
And I heard that this one is different a little bit.
A little bit, okay. Well,
But
we'll see
we
how it
even
works.
could go maybe together to
Sure.
to do that, because we
Absolutely.
need. I know his helpers who still the same.
Yeah.
Cultural attaché and
Yeah.
something.
What's his name? The head guy there that always answers the phone.
Vitaly, I guess.
Vitaly.
Yeah, sure.
He's still there. Oh,
yeah,
he
he's
understands
still-
the project.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
So we could go and say that is now we're in the second stage of the project,
right.
and we're already contacted with the government.
Right.
So when this letter ready, they will go with this letter to the Department of Latin America that actually support us too.
Right.
And they will ask to get like a general support of the government of St.
Right.
Petersburg, and that will be a big step ahead.
Right. There's another issue that maybe is interesting to these people. We have we're setting it up right now so that when we arrive in Russia, we'll have large numbers of shares. Now, the majority shares are owned by the Dadian, but in order to create alliances worldwide, we're allocating 10% of the shares for Panama, 10% for the United States, and some percentage for Europe and Russia. Now, if people are interested, they can actually buy shares.
That's something that is very interesting, and you have to prepare like a special internal letter for the team explaining the things, so they will start looking for these people and advertising.
If they want to, or we're not. That there are rules in each country about this, so we don't know exactly. This is stocks. These are stocks, so maybe Russia prohibits this. I have no idea.
Me too, but for if we have an offer, they will start working because they have all those connections and they work with these things. So they will tell you what's possible, what's not possible, what's the best way, and then probably maybe they themselves they will find interest to buy. But if not, at least they could make promotion in a special like communities of businessmen for that.
We're not necessarily. It doesn't. The shares will be about $50 per share to start. So it's something that the average person could afford if they want to. So it doesn't have to be a business investor or stuff. What we would prefer is to have our alliances, like the people you're talking about, participate, so that there's a double incentive for them to make it work.
And which profit do you expect for the shares?
We expect the share value to increase dramatically as we travel the world. The profits will rise according to our success in the business. We don't really know yet. I mean, this is something nobody's ever done, But we know that the share value will rise dramatically. They could get their return from the share. We think the share value in about 2 to 3 years will rise 500% from what we're doing, with the plans that we have right now. Because we're going to be acquiring property worth many millions of dollars for a very small price here in Panama.
Okay, great. That's very nice. Absolutely.
So we think that with no success with the business side, which we think we will have, but even with no success, we're also working to create resources or assets for the company worth many millions of dollars, and it'll grow. Just its intrinsic value will grow, so that if they wanted to, they could sell the shares.
Okay, great. Next. So letter with commercial offers for each business project, tourism, furniture. So you have to prepare the real offer, what you offer. If it's tourism, offer to invite the tourists to Darien. If it's furniture, what do you want from them So it's very important to have it on paper.
Okay.
Shortly, because otherwise it's we have a very short amount of time, and in Russia also some things go is not that bad. So could you make these letters?
Yeah.
Offers, Okay.
Now let me just ask. I'll ask her.
Okay.
But our focus in order